Okay, as I said, let's get this show on the road. It's Saturday, October 18, 2025. Yeah, we're moving on. And we're moving to that wonderful, wonderful American spirit being uh, exhibited throughout the USA. No King's Day. So this day is October 18th, 2025. My wife and I have already made plans. Last week, the last one, a friendly gathering of people, people sharing their gripes and all, the typical stuff, very non-confrontational, a lot of, common hearts and minds. That feels good, just, when you look out on the landscape and based upon the things you see happening, it's like, that doesn't make sense. I think the majority of the people are totally against this craziness, and yet they don't have to say, we as a majority. That's how power's been manipulated and leveraged away from the masses. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to make your vote count less and less. Actually the script is that is not the real appropriate script. Because what's going to happen if he succeeds in this overtaking, he'll just do by he'll take over by let's say just eminence. Taking on the role of a political leader, the head of the country, so, like a Putin type. And we already know what his agenda is. It's going after his political allies. And the punishment's been, that was what's looked for is moderate compared to what it would be if he had total control. It'd be the ultimate corporal execution. It'd be like, the witch trial. Hitler Germany. Nazi Germany. Fascist Germany. Fascist right wing. That's what it is. Check out their allegiances. You want to know the truth? Check it out. It might be an eye-opener for you. Just see what you find. All these right-wing, what sort of things, what kind of sentiments do they espouse? And, measuring like on a humane heart meter. See how that relates to the treatment of our fellow mankind. With respect to all aspects of life. Especially to have the right and privilege to say what's on his mind. At any time, to anybody. So you think it might have different consequences in the context of what is said, but just on the face of it, just to make a comment to somebody. Nobody should be above the law. So, wow, that's a good one. Well, thank you. Well, that was a good outpouring. Well, let's just do this one. Okay, so here's the thing. We're living in a very pivotal house, just on a certain sense of balance to go. Just, but, you know, see like the vast mass of energy. A person like this way, so it's like, oh, it's going that way. I can feel it moving now. In fact, I think that descension, you know, into normalcy is on the move right now. It becomes soft down for a soft landing. Every time we're all on the ground and we shake our heads and you let the dog shaking up the water, clear out your ears and stuff like that. And you look around, you recognize who's around you. Oh, okay, that's cool. Everybody there? Yeah. And then you just think that, hey, we survived that transition. That's what we can do to make a life for ourselves. So, you know, so many things in the past just gone all the way. You know, but the heart just isn't in for it. It isn't open for hunger, heart, hate, and jealousy, you know, any of the other things that affects, you know, the human psyche. So, yeah, you just let go of stuff. You just gotta let go of that bullshit that hangs on you. It's like, yeah, test your masculinity and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what it is. Fuck it. Yeah. Don't make judgments about the way people live their lives. Yeah. As long as there's nothing that could be, hey, that offends me because of a visual thing. Yeah. It has to be more than that. Yeah. It's just like, you know, stop looking. Just stop looking and you won't be offended by it. That's the best selection of choice anytime you encounter any human being. You know, first thing is you go down. Release all these filters and binders. Let them all down. And then you can look into the soul of the person you're talking to. That's really interesting. You can just simultaneously, and recognize, another fellow traveler in this universe. Yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Well, anyway, enough of that bullshit. I'm always saying this stuff, but I have nothing to back it up with. Somebody else is saying it. I think the confirmation, but you're in the universe's protective guarding arms. Yeah, that's the ultimate goal for this salvation effort to be made, to save our sorry asses. It isn't what I think. Let's get you. Let's go as far as we can go. And I think we kind of made it and kind of did. That was kind of a draw. Like a lot of people with positive issues with civilization and the negative issues. So I had to work things out quite right. Gotta get more unison with the kind of message that was being conveyed. And so how can we get together? Let's sit down and just talk out and list the highlights of our interest in life. And collectively identify specific areas of interest that are common to all. And so we set objectives. Say, this is the kind of society I would like to live in. And you engage the talents of the literary, legal interpretation of language people in, and construct this mental image into a concept that's portrayed in written word. Put it in a book and make it available to all who would like to and read this wonderful book of information and knowledge. A lot to be gained in that. Okay. All you have to do is sit down and apply. Yeah, and you can do it with a pure and loving heart. Yeah. That's an interesting thing. Oh my God, that was interesting. Well, listen, I'm going to take a break after that. I'm going to stop and think about that one for a minute. I can't. Yeah. Whew, that was a doozy. All right. Love you all. Yeah. This is going to be a break and I'll be right back. I promise you. This is going to be an interesting